Trump basically said to the Midwest, these workers that voted him in by a small margin, that I'm going to be tough on the rest of the world. That's what's going to make you better off. And it just doesn't have mileage. So he went off on something that can't work. There aren't so many jobs to return. The jobs that are lost have been lost to robots and automation, not to offshoring. So he went off on a message that is economically inaccurate and would break a lot of the things that actually make the world economy work. And he doesn't have the magic in the sleeve to somehow make China or Mexico or others pay for what we really need inside. That's the fallacy of what happened, unfortunately. What every businessman that I talk to says is that Trump has an idea, which is fine, get Americans back to work, but he doesn't have a strategy. Trade war was one strategy, tax cuts is another strategy, but you got to make these things add up.
You know, the strategy, and the question is how can he get enough investment to add up? Like, for instance, Japan is going to invest in more American businesses. He's pushing all of these other people, but you know, that's great. On a symbolic level, it's also great for those that are individually going to be keeping their jobs, but can you do that enough?
No, it's exactly the right point, because when Ford said, okay, we'll stay in the U.S., it was $700 million for 700 jobs. You add it up, that's not going to be the way that we're really going to respond for 150 million workers. What he also doesn't get, which is the real message, manufacturing now, which is strong in the United States, only employs 8% of the workers, and that's because it's all automated, and it's going to become more and more automated. So we will be a society where people work in services. Manufacturing can be strong, but it's not going to be the source of massive employment in the future. We need to take that into account realistically, and they don't have that in mind also. They have in mind the U.S. of the 1970s, that we're going to be a manufacturing base with strong workforce. But manufacturing is robotics, it's artificial intelligence, it's smart systems. It's not workers anymore. There are very few. And we're down to 8%, and it's going to keep going down for a good reason, good technology.